Hello everybody, welcome back to another Mortal Jellyfish video. Now for today's video, we're wrapping up basically what we talked about yesterday, which is the Void Regent limited kit, which is in the holiday bundle. But this video is going to focus just on Void Regent instead of the whole bundle as a whole. So with that said, let's hop into today's video talking about the Void Regent. Now, if you do like Bedwars content, make sure to like and subscribe. I do make Bedwars content pretty often, so yeah, if you want to see more Bedwars content, make sure to subscribe. On that note, let's start the video. Okay, so as we get some Void Regent gameplay rolling in the background for you, basically with these videos, I always do a pros, cons, and then a section about should you buy from my opinion. So yeah, let's hop into those pros real quick here. So the first pro we got is movement speed on here. This kit is going to have better movement speed than a majority of other kits in the game, minus things like Baker and other things that have movement speed, or Jade. Basically, anytime you use the axe that he has, it's going to leap you forward a bit. Well, that movement speed while you're leaping is faster than you do sprint in the game. So for that, if you're using it between its cooldowns and you use it to move forward and forward, you're going to notice that you're faster than other players. This is basically increased movement speed. You're going to be faster. You can get around the map better. And that plays definitely a good pro in things. You can out-rotate your enemies. You can catch enemies that are running. You can get away from enemies that are chasing you. So it has a lot of perks to movement speed. So next pro we got is number 2, and that's going to be lifesteal. So much like Void Trinity, anytime they hit, you're going to heal. Well, anytime you use the axe and you hit somebody with it, you are going to heal. Now, obviously, as your damage is higher earlier in the game, so like leather armor or no armor, you're going to heal more, and you're going to notice this. Something else to note about the lifesteal is the more targets, the better. You'll heal per each one you hit, and you'll deal damage each one you hit. So yeah, lifesteal, pretty good, helps sustain you in a fight. But yeah, anyways, third pro is going to be damage. You're going to have damage from the axe. Now, it's not going to be better than a sword or anything by that means, but you can jump in on people, hit them, and switch to your sword before they realize you're attacking them, and go ahead and get that first hit plus the axe damage, and that'll lead you ahead in the fight. Or sometimes you can leap through people, hit them with the axe, and then before they can get back to you, you already have your sword ready and you're ready to fight, and you've got that lead of damage because of the axe. So definitely getting that extra damage from the axe hits can be useful. And the next pro I got on the list is going to be number 4, and that is more targets the better. Now, I did briefly touch on this in pro number 2 of lifestealing, but basically I think this kit really shines in things like squads or 30v30 because it is going to deal damage to each person, and for each person it hits damages, it's going to heal you for part of that damage. So if you jump through one person and it does like 15 damage, you'll heal like 9. But if you jump through 4 people, you're going to deal 15 damage to each of them, but then you're going to heal 9 for each of them, which would be like 36 health. So in squads, you can heal a whole lot more. In actual real games, this has helped me quite a bit. You might even see it in some of the gameplay here, but I've had some leaps where I healed 25, 30 health in the middle of a fight. I don't know if you know about the healing or not, but that's better than Trinity's healing, and that's better than what Reaper heals after he kills somebody and eats their soul. So pretty good sustain with the axe lifesteal as long as you're hitting multiple targets. And that's going to lead us to our 5th and final pro, and that is you have good sustain in fights. So what do I mean by that? I mean, with sustain in fights, basically your health is a resource, and as you're fighting, that resource is going down, and if you run out, you're going to die, right? So basically what this is going to do is going to help you sustain your health bar up. So if you're fighting and then you leap through them and you hit a bunch of people, you heal as you're running away, you wait for the axe cooldown, you leap back through and you hit them again and heal, and then you go back in the fight, you'll notice you've went up like 20-30 health, and that's going to help you stay in the fight longer. You'll be able to fight more, and overall it'll help you turn some fights. So yeah, super good and sustain. On that note, that is the end of our pros list here. So we will move into our cons. I do only got 3 cons for this kit. There's probably more pros and cons, so yeah, if you guys have some of your own, make sure to drop in the comment section below. I like to know them and read them. Also, it helps other people. So yeah, into the cons now. The first con I got is that the axe is going to cost you 40 iron. Now, 40 iron is not a lot compared to what some kits have to pay for their boosted items, I guess I should say. But 40 iron is definitely a hefty amount, especially for an item that excels really strong early game, but semi-falls off later game. And that's because it's basically going to cost you leather armor. So if you sit in your generator from the start to get leather armor, basically you'd have to choose, do I want the axe or the leather armor? And personally, I think leather armor is going to be a much safer sustain, but the axe could lead to some better rushes, some better outplay potential than just leather armor. But, you know, it does cost 40 iron, and that is kind of expensive, you know? Especially for an item that does best like iron armor and under. Once people get into diamond and emerald, not such a spicy thing to own. Next up though, or for our second con, is sometimes the axe does not register obvious hits. I've had this a lot, and I don't know if it's a Roblox ping issue or the hitbox on the axe is just buggy, but sometimes, you know, I'll hit and it'll hit people from like 9 blocks away and stuff, and then other times I'll land right on top of them with the axe and they take no damage. Sometimes I'll go right through them, they don't take damage. So yeah, sometimes you'll go in for like an axe hit to heal and it won't hit nobody, you won't get that healing, you won't deal any damage, and that's a big ouchie because it feels bad. Like you made a good play to go through it and get some healing, and then you don't get that expected healing or anything. So yeah, be careful. Sometimes the axe does not register hits right, I don't know why, but yeah, it can definitely mess you up. Next up though, for our third con, is you can yeet yourself off the map by accident. Now, I don't really have to explain this much, but when you leap forward, maybe you overestimate how much room you had, or, you know, you're in a really tight area, and you press it, you could yeet yourself off the map and die. And that's obviously not what you want to happen. So yeah, just be careful with your spacing, and be mindful that you're not yeeting yourself off the map with this kit. On that note though, it is time to move into the should you buy portion of this video, where I give my opinion on whether you should or should not buy it. Feel free to give me your opinion in the comments below as usual on whether you think it's worth it or not. But yeah, this is going to be a hefty one to talk about because basically you're going to have to spend 1,500 Robux for this kit. So yeah, let's get into that. So starting off right at the front, if you own Barbarian or Amy and you're not getting that in this kit, probably a big no. But, you know, thinking about it this way, if you're tight on Bobucks or whatnot, I don't think this is for you. I think this bundle that gives you Void Regent is it's a very spendy, a very expensive kit to get. It's gonna be like $15 roughly, and that's just expensive, especially for a lot of people who play this game. From my time on Roblox, I've learned that kind of Robux doesn't come around for a lot of people. So unless you're feeling a bit spicy and have a bit of extra cash that you really want to just toss away at the game, it's worth and it's cool to have. But I don't think the kit is shining enough or is busted enough to really say it's worth $15, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, it's good. It's exactly like Jade, but better in my opinion, because I like the damage and the lifesteal you can get potential out of, where Jade just knocks them up. But if you got Jade, you basically have this kit. You're just missing the lifesteal and damage sustained parts of this kit, which isn't that big of a deal because, I mean, most of the time you're just using the hammer or Jade's hammer or Void's axe just for movement. You're mainly just using it to rotate. From time to time though, you will get good fights with this kit, but I cannot justify the price of $15 for this kit. It is in the overpriced area for me personally. But like I said, if you're Bobucks rich and you got the money to dump on it, well, go for it. You know, I think you won't be disappointed. It is a rather strong kit. Just note that Bedwars devs do tend to nerf strong kits, so if any big YouTuber decides to come out and say this kit's broken, just get ready for it to be nerfed, and then your $15 to feel a bit worthless. So yeah, just be cautious when buying this because, yeah, $15 is not cheap for something in a virtual game that could be ruined and nerfed and not worth what you paid for in the long run. On that note, guys, thank you for watching, and on that note, it's time to thank our members. So, starting off down the list, we got Mama Peas, Redwood Deadwood, Insolent Axolotl, Clockwork Gaming, Darkest Troller, and Light Artist. Thank you all for being members of the channel. It does help out a ton. And on that note, I will see you on the next one. Peace out.